UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Welcome to UCLA Bruin Talk. I'm Ralph Irvin along with Javrina Seferai, and this week we're taking you to court. But you're not going to need a lawyer, don't worry about that, because we're going to first go to the volleyball courts and then make our way to the tennis courts. We're talking to players from both volleyball and tennis here on Bruin Talk.
UCLA is having a lot of exciting events. Let's take a look.
Of course, volleyball at UCLA is a tradition. A lot of national championships, as many as any sport on campus. And so we're pleased to be joined talking volleyball today by a couple of freshmen from this year's team. Tom Amberg is a freshman quick hitter from Valhalla High School in El Cajon, where he was a two-sport letterman in water polo as well as in volleyball. Currently, as a freshman, he's hitting over 300 for the year. And of course, Kyle Caldwell, also a freshman. He is an opposite and a setter coming in from Newport Beach, Newport Harbor High School, where he played volleyball and basketball. He's also a member of the 2008 junior national team, which went to El Salvador and won a bronze medal in qualifying for the Junior World Championships. Tom and Kyle, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
First off, let's talk about two sports athletes. You both played two sports in high school. Why did you choose to pursue volleyball in college? We'll start with you, Tom.
Well, I always played water polo. I played water polo before high school even started, and I really like water polo is my thing. I played club water polo after my freshman year, and then after my sophomore year, and then I really didn't start playing club volleyball competitively, really getting into it until after my sophomore year in high school, because I got a call from the club coach in San Diego. There's only 2 main clubs in San Diego, and so one of them happened to call me, and I decided to play, and I just had a really great time playing volleyball because as a water polo player, as a goalie, so I just kind of didn't do much all the time. But with volleyball, I got to have a chance to really get out there and fully compete as being more part of the team, and I really liked that, and I had a great time playing.
I felt it was a tougher decision for me because basketball, I grew up around it because my grandpa played in the NBA. He's a Hall of Famer, and so choosing volleyball was rough. I mean, I played basketball, got recruited by a couple of schools, and then trying to decide between basketball and volleyball. But I figured UCLA was a great school because good in academics, good volleyball, and it's far enough from home, but yet still kind of close.
I would guess that, the UCLA factor of coming into recruiting probably kind of helped make that decision for you.
Yeah, it was UCLA was always kind of number one in my books throughout my entire high school career. I was a freshman in high school. I was I visited UCLA because my older brother also goes here.
Okay.
Just as a student, and when I was touring colleges with him, I just saw this school and I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
When you guys actually chose volleyball, what did your parents think about it?
My parents loved it because my mom and dad both played volleyball in college. My dad at San Diego State and my mom at University of Arizona. But they felt it was more my decision. They don't really care if I went basketball or volleyball. They just wanted me to be happy.
I bet there were maybe a little bit of back and forth there between your grandfather and your dad and your mom, volleyball versus basketball.
Yeah, it was, it was a long process. It took about 2 months to finally narrow it down to the top, 5 schools I wanted to go to, basketball or volleyball. And then finally just one day woke up and decided UCLA was the place for me.
Oh, so far, I mean, freshman year, you're now in your third quarter. How's things going for you on campus?
School's been going pretty well for me. I mean, I've been doing pretty good actually. I've keeping above a 3.0 and just kind of going to all my classes, going to all my discussions, doing all my papers, doing all the homework. Just I don't know. School really comes more naturally to me. I really enjoy school, so I actually enjoy an engaging academic environment like UCLA.
Wow. What major are you, Thomas?
Pre-business economics right now, so I'm working to go into the business economics program. So I'm taking all my prerequisites and all those kind of classes so I can get into the major.
How about for you,
I had a little bit of a tougher time transitioning from the high school atmosphere with my parents and a little easier classes and coming over here to have more freedom. No one's here to watch you. You have to take classes. You have to go to practice. You have all this stuff, all this weight on your shoulders. And I felt first couple of quarters were a little rough, but now I'm transitioning into it a little better.
So shifting over from academics, let's move over to the court, volleyball. What is it like playing for legendary coach Skates?
I think it's a great honor to play for him because he's won 19 national championships, which is phenomenal. And he's just really smart volleyball-wise, and every day you learn something new about volleyball.
Yeah, he's really always to the point. He always tells you what he wants and how he wants it, and he'll always give you exactly what you're doing wrong, and he'll tell you that you need to do this or someone else is going to do it for you. So really competition is a big part of our practices because he'll take you out and change you with someone else in a second. So really you have to keep up with your skills in order to stay on the court.
I'd imagine that there was probably some point early on where it went from playing volleyball to, wow, I'm playing for Coach Skates. I gotta, it just kind of shook you in the head. Wait a minute, maybe he yells at you, maybe he complimented you on you. Was there a moment for that for you, Kyle?
Well, I felt like my high school coach was really harsh. I mean, every day we'd run line trips, he'd yell at us, he gave us the harshest we could get. So coming here is kind of a smoother transition because I expected it to be tough, but it wasn't the actual running aspect. It's more the competition because if you don't play well one day, there's some guy who's just as good as you that's going to take your spot. So you got to come out every day and play the best of your abilities.
Yeah, the real eye-opener for me was all the preparation that goes into each game. I mean, in high school you just kind of show up and play, but whereas in college we have scouting reports and video sessions and all these tendencies we have to take away and memorizing certain hitting schemes and blocking schemes. It's a lot more of a mental game than in high school.
Used to just be go out and bump, set, hit. Now you actually have to plan and think.
Yeah.
Kyle and Thomas, what are your preseason goals as a team?
Before the season started?
Yeah.
Coming in, I knew we were going to be a really good team. We had probably the top players in the country, preseason number 2. So our only hope was just to win national championship because we had the talent, we had the coach. We just needed to figure out what we had going.
Yeah, I'd say national championship is always the goal for UCLA volleyball. I mean, that's pretty much all that matters.
Now, going into the team, I mean, you're freshmen, and I know that there's a pretty good-sized freshman class that comes in. How was it in terms of being accepted by some of the upperclassmen? I mean, yeah, they're going to accept you as teammates. They don't really have a choice. But in terms of being really brought in and embraced, because obviously you're both playing as freshmen, it's not like you're redshirting. Did you find that the seniors and juniors really embracing you?
Yeah, they're all really supportive. They're all really good guys. I mean, we're all part of the volleyball community, so we've been playing against each other for a couple of years now because we all played club against each other no matter where you are from California. So you've seen all these guys before and you've heard about them when you were a 16-year-old and these guys were 18 playing you worshiped these guys and now you're playing against them and it's just really cool. I mean, they've all been really nice. You just been from day one. You could just call them up and you just go hang out. It was just a really easy transition.
Yeah, from day one, everyone comes up, introduces themselves, and they're really accepting to us. And it also helped that 3 other guys from Newport Harbor went. So when I came here, I had someone to lean on. If I want to talk to someone about what I need to do, I talk to Brett or Dee.
They've gone through that transition.
They've gone through the whole thing, and they know what to expect.
Well, you talk about, we mentioned earlier the difference in playing high school versus here in college. What was it like for you the first time you went to play in an actual match? I'm sure you didn't have anywhere near the fan base that in high school that you do here, where, I mean, it's a big environment. And then on top of that, when you go on the road to some of these places, they really hate UCLA volleyball when you're going to play there.
Well, the first time I played was at home, and I was really nervous. Like, my parents were there and everything, and like, I'm pretty sure I played like the worst game I've ever played in my life, because I was just so nervous. And I got taken out within like the first game. Like, I didn't play the rest of the match, but so far from there, I bounced back. Got a little more confidence, and like, I think I'm doing a lot better now.
I felt like I had an easier transition because I played at Newport Harbor, where every year we played CDM, and last year we played at UCI, where they hosted the national championships. So we had about 3,000 people there. So I kind of adjusted to the big fan and also the international experience, with a lot of fans being there too. So I mean, I was nervous, because my first college game ever, I didn't know what to expect, but I felt it was a little easier on me.
Has it surprised you the way it can get on the road? I mean, you'd think that volleyball is kind of a laid-back sport, but when you go to some of the places in conference, they're not so welcoming.
Yeah, I really love playing on the road. Like, I actually prefer playing on the road than playing at home, just because having someone cheering against you for me is just a lot more fun to play, because I just like that competition nature, just like beating somebody and like having the fans just walking out of the gym just dejected.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Just the fans that talk crap on you. I feel like it gets me fired up, because if they say oh, you're not gonna make the serve, and you make the serve, you feel better about yourself. It makes me play better, I think, personally.
Yeah. When you guys practice, do you practice do you do beach volleyball, or is it just at the courts?
Yeah, we do beach volleyball in the summer. I do a little bit of that, but mostly indoor stuff, because beach volleyball and indoor volleyball is almost two different sports, because you play two different styles compared to, on the beach, it's more just you have to rely on your partner to make a play, but on the indoor, you have 5 other guys to help you out.
Let's talk about your roles on the floor. You're a quick hitter, so what does that mean for the lay person?
Well, my main responsibilities are blocking. That's pretty much the main thing I'm supposed to be doing, and then also getting up quick in the middle of the court, and hitting just a real quick set.
Right. Hopefully
getting a lot of kills, hitting for a high percentage. So, say just blocking and being up quick and distracting the other middles to mess up their blocking is really my main responsibilities.
And then, are you back playing defense, or you tend to get subbed
out? Well, after I go back and serve, the libero actually comes in and plays back row for me. So.
And how about for you, Kyle?
I feel it's an opposite. You're more of a primary target, because you're it's not a quick set, so it's a high ball, so you can set it from anywhere on the court, and you hit it from the right side. So I feel opposite. You do a lot of blocking, mostly on the outside hitters, because that's where most of the sets go, and it's also a lot of defense too, which I pride myself on.
Now, a lot of people don't realize the athleticism of volleyball. What type of verticals you guys have? I know that you know.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big guy. I don't have that big vertical, but probably 27, 30.
I'm a tall guy too, but I'm pretty skinny, so I can get up 33, a little around there.
Wow.
I mean, people are surprised when they realize just how much jumping that you've got going in. Real quick, both from Southern California, being close to home, how is it being at college? Do you feel like you're away from school, or do you feel like you can quick retreat home if you ever need to?
I think it's just right. I mean, San Diego, just 2.5 hours around, just to go home, and I like the choice that I can go home, but I also like the choice that I'm completely away. I mean, I'm completely disconnected from my parents, if I want to be.
Right.
And I really like that freedom.
I like the way I have it, because I have my car up here, so if I want to go home, I can just drive home, stay with my mom, and also she's working on a job site right on campus, so she's up here a lot. So we have lunch once or twice a week. So it's comforting, yet I can still have my own free time and stuff.
Well, great, Tom, Kyle, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I want to thank Thomas and Kyle for joining us here on UCLA Bruin Talk. Coming up, we're going to stay on the courts, but we'll make our way outside to the tennis courts. Joined by UCLA men's tennis coach Billy Martin, as well as senior Michael Look. We'll be doing that coming up right after this.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA. champions meet here.
Welcome back to UCLA Bruin Talk. Ralph Irvin here along with Javrina Safarai. And before we go to the courts and talk tennis, Javrina has this week's Athlete of the Week.
This week, we honor Elyse Hopfner-Hibbs as our Student Athlete of the Week. Elyse of the UCLA gymnastics team was recently selected as the Pac-10 Freshman of the Year, UCLA's 6th honoree in the 10 years the award has been given. Elyse is the highest-ranked freshman all around in the nation and ranks 15th overall. She's also ranked in the top 20 on beam and floor. The 3-time Pac-10 Gymnast of the Week leads UCLA with 28 top 3 finishes and ranks 2nd with 11 individual wins. Elyse was also one of the 8 Bruin competitors to be named 2009 All-Conference Team, marking the most honorees from one school in one season in Pac-10 history. Congratulations and good luck to Elyse and the rest of the team. If you would like additional information about UCLA athletics, you can call our fan phone line at 310-825-8575, or you can visit us on our website at www.uclabruins.com.
UCLA men's tennis team has a proud tradition in the history of UCLA athletics. It's notable because that's where the first national championships came from. Billy Martin is a part of that legacy. Now in his 16th season as the head coach of the UCLA program, he's a national champion both as a player in 1975 and as a coach in 2005. Never finished outside of the top 5 and is running on 5 straight Pac-10 championships. Michael Look is a senior from Redcliffe, Australia, coming back from an injured wrist, and he's currently playing both number 2 doubles and number 3 singles. Mike, Billy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
First off, let's talk about, you were with us in December. We were looking ahead to the season. Now you're pretty into the season. How did things change from what you might have expected in December to what the reality is shown here in the middle of the year?
Well, we've seen a few of our younger players step up and do a real good job. We've also had a somewhat serious injury to Harel Shrugo, who played number 1 for us last year, singles and doubles, tear a ligament in his left thumb. Not really able to hit his two-handed backhand even now. We're hoping to get him out finally next week to hit that backhand after getting out of a cast. But so things like that really changed the outlook, but it's been going very well for us. I think the rest of the guys have stepped up. Michael's just done a fantastic job at number 3 singles, playing second doubles, moving up from where he was last year. So a lot of guys have had to step up, but so far encouraging. Great weekend last week up at the Bay Area. So I'm really hopeful that it's going to turn out to be a great season for us.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, you missed a lot of the fall, nursing an injured wrist, coming back. Now you're not just playing one match, you're typically playing 2 matches in most meets. How's everything holding up?
I've been really happy with how my wrist has been going this entire season. You know, I was a bit apprehensive in the fall. I was nervous, wasn't doing full practices throughout the fall, but you know, we worked up slowly. I was working with my trainers in the physio room and stuff, and I got it nice and strong, and it's been holding up, and I've been really happy throughout the season with how it's been going.
Coach, how has the team responded to being 5-time defending conference champion?
Well, I think really well, and this weekend really showed that. I mean, we're determined to hopefully get a number 6 in our team room there. It would be nice to match up with those other 5, but we have non-counting conference matches against most of the teams in our conference, as well as the county matches. These last 2 weekend matches were the county ones. We had lost to Stanford down here in a really tight 4-3 last match, 3rd set match, which was disappointing, but sort of returned the favor up there. Same scenario, 4-3 last set, 3rd set, and our guy Mitt Inbar came through. But it's definitely one of our top 2 goals. Pac-10 championships, NCAA championship, they somewhat go hand in hand. I think we got a good chance to do that now after winning those 2 Bay Area matches. 5 matches left, all being home matches, ending up with USC on April 17th.
Now, you mentioned Amit Inbar, also Matt Brooklyn, a couple of transfers into the program. How have they molded in? How have they fit into the lineup for the men's team?
Well, very well. Matt's been playing pretty much 2 or 3 all year. Was at ASU. Unfortunately, them dropping their men's tennis program was not a great situation for him. The rug pulled right out from under him, but I think he's adjusted well. Certainly a tough adjustment after being somewhere for 2 years and sort of not choosing to maybe transfer, but having it happen sort of all of a sudden, on him. But he's done a good job. It's always a tough thing to, sort of adjust academically too. That's been a big adjustment, but doing very well. Had a great weekend for us last week. Mit Inbar, a young man I actually recruited for a year, couldn't get him here at UCLA, went to Maryland with different NCAA and grade stuff, had a great year there, did well academically, was able to get him to transfer here and join our other Israelis. So we've got two good Israelis on our team. I call them my commandos out there, and they're playing doubles together too, so doing a great job for us.
Well, and Mike, as a senior captain, what's it like for you to, it's one thing to have freshmen come in and you kind of know how they are, but you've got two competitive transfers coming in that have played college tennis but still are new to the program.
Yeah, no, I think it's been really healthy for us. It sparks a new competition. I know I've been working hard with Matt. We're 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. We've always fight for positions. So I'm always trying to get better than him. He's trying to get better than me. So I think it's really good, and it's just good to have some fresh faces in the team. We lost all of our seniors last year, two French guys that I was quite friendly with, and Matt and Amit came along, and they've been great.
And it should be noted that, that's a part of the tennis team culture, is that you're battling each other for the chance to play. It's constant. That you're never backing down, because otherwise you're not going to get a chance to compete.
Yeah, that's how I've played all my 4 years here at UCLA. It started my freshman year. I was not in the top 6, and I really wanted to get in there. And I think my main competitor there was Jeremy Dreen. I worked really hard. He was the guy ahead of me, and I really put a target on his back. I wasn't trying to cut him down. I wasn't trying to cut him down in a bad way, but I was just trying to improve and get better than him and make it onto the team. And so I've done that every year. I've picked a player that I've wanted to get better than, and that's how I've done throughout my entire college career.
Good learning tool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Michael, you're actually from Australia. What made you pick UCLA?
Just the reputation. I've known a couple of guys that have graduated from UCLA, and so they had just positive things to say about it. And a couple of my coaches, he was on the pro tour, and whenever he came to America, he would always hit with college guys from UCLA, and he just said the facilities here are amazing, and everything here is just tailored for the athlete, and that's why I really wanted to come here.
And a lot of international players on the roster, Coach. It's certainly an unusual process for recruiting, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I always try to tell all the kids that, if you really have the dream to go out and play pro tennis, which most of the guys that come here have that dream, to try to have this be their last stepping stone before the pros, that the pro tour is international as it gets. Right. So it's just not going to be all Americans, it's not going to be all foreign guys or your homeland guys when you get out in the pro tour. So it gets them ready for that. And yeah, really the foreign influence in men's college tennis has been fantastic to raise our level. This is, only place in the world where they can come, work really hard on their sport, get great academics, get a great education, and then decide what they want to do when they're finished with their degree here.
When you joined us last time back in December, you were joined by Haytham Abid, who was coming back from an injury himself at that point. How has he progressed throughout the year?
He's really been doing well. He's getting better and better. Had a great win over the #1 player at Stanford just this last weekend. A few weekends ago, beat the #1 player at USC, who at that time was ranked #1 in the country in singles. So I think with each week, he's getting a little stronger, a little more confidence in his wrist. Those wins certainly help your confidence. But I'd certainly like to stop seeing a lot of wrist injuries. We had Michael in to see the same doctor that had done a bid surgery. So hopefully we won't see that gentleman for another few years.
Gosh. Michael, you play singles and doubles. Which one do you prefer?
When I first came here, I was mainly a singles specialist, I would say. But Billy's been working with me the last couple of years, and he's got me pretty excited about doubles. I only started playing last year, and I had a fantastic year at doubles with Jeremy Dreen, and this year I'm having a great time with Matt Brooklyn, and I think it's changed a bit. I was a singles specialist, but now I really enjoy my doubles as well.
Is it one of those things that it might be suggested to you when you're younger and you're like, I don't really want to, that's not where I want to be. I want to be a singles champion. But then somehow you end up playing doubles, and it's like, wow, I enjoy it, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, it's in Australia. Australia is known as a pretty good doubles nation, and we're always encouraged to play doubles when we were younger. But I didn't have the volleys and the strength to play doubles at that stage, and I think coming to UCLA, I got stronger and more confident in my volleys, and I think that's where I started to really enjoy doubles, just getting on the court with another guy and and just talking to him throughout the entire match.
So you've mentioned going for a 6th straight Pac-10 title. How does this team compare to some of your past Pac-10 champs?
Well, I think it's a very strong team. I think we've certainly had maybe a few stronger teams in the past, but certainly a few weaker teams. But this team from 1 through 6 is really strong. Probably our biggest asset is our depth. Our number 6 player, could be playing number 1, and that's proven. He played number 1 last year at Maryland and did quite well in the ACC conference. So depth is a strength. I really think our doubles is a strength too. So with that being said, I think we really can go up against almost any team in the country and give them a run for their money.
Coach, when these guys practice, how much time do you spend on fundamental drills versus playing time?
Probably half the time. We practice usually every day about 2:30 to 5:15-ish. So we usually try to start out with drills, warming up, forehand, backhand. We do a lot of doubles drill. As Michael was saying, he's progressed as a doubles player. Most kids nowadays don't grow up thinking they want to be a great doubles player. They're not seeing Federers and Nadals and those guys playing doubles. But college tennis really means so much to play doubles. So we start pounding it into their heads from day one. And Michael's the greatest example of that, and that you couldn't get him to come close to the net when he was playing. But we worked on his volleys for a good 2 years, and he's really progressed so well. And the bottom line is helped his singles immensely. He now likes to come in, he mixes it up, he can do more when he does get in, and it's really allowed him to become a better all-round player and to be able to move from a number 6 spot up to a number 2 or 3 spot.
Mike, does it surprise you when you're able to use some of your doubles training and maybe playing a serve and volley or something like that?
Definitely. I mean, 2 years ago, I never would have imagined the stuff that I do now. I mean, sometimes I come into the net and I still hit this volley and goes for a winner. I'm still shocked. I'm like, what just happened? Did I just win the point? I just never would have done that 2 years ago, even throughout my earlier career. But I think it's really improved me, and I enjoy tennis a lot more because of it. And
I would imagine that you make a point, and it's like, how would I have won this match? How would I have won this set if I didn't have that skill set?
Yeah, I definitely attribute going from number 6 to I've been playing number 3 this year, and I really attribute that jump to being able to finish off points a lot better by coming into the net, taking advantage of my good ground strokes.
Now, you had mentioned in December that Stanford was going to be a top competitor both nationally as well as in the Pac-10. Coming up, you will be headed off to nationals. Who are some of the teams that UCLA is thinking about and worrying about, or maybe not worrying about, looking forward to facing up against come NCAA tournament time?
Sure, good question. We got to see all the teams in February at our National Indoor Championships. We unfortunately lost to Virginia in the quarterfinals of the main draw in a tough 4-3 match. Came down to Matt Brookland's 3rd set, but unfortunately we came up on the short end of that one. We also played Ohio State, who I personally think is probably the team to beat to win an NCAA championship this year. Virginia is currently ranked number 1, but I really feel outdoors on the slower courts, Ohio State's going to be as good a team, if not the best team to possibly beat for the NCAA championships. Georgia, our 2-time defending champion, is also going to be very good. We have 2 other good SEC teams, Florida, Mississippi. So parity is there. SC, our crosstown rival, is currently ranked number 6, who will play again shortly. But a lot of parity, but I would say Virginia, Ohio State, probably the 2 teams that will be right there to have to beat to win an NCAA championship.
Well, Coach Billy Martin, as well as Mike Look, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
We want to thank Mike, Coach Billy Martin, as well as Tom and Kyle from the volleyball team, all for joining us here on UCLA Bruin Talk. Join us again as we take you inside UCLA Bruin Athletics. For Javrina Seferai, I'm Ralph Irvin, and we'll see you next time on UCLA Bruin Talk.
Bye.